The bonds of friendship are strong within Athletes Unlimited, but today they'll be tested. Allie Kennedy dreamed of being a pro lacrosse player when she was 5 years old. It's real life now, and so is her chase for a medal. Allie's best friend and life partner, Taylor Marino, literally stands in her way. A dream catcher who operates as a two-time AU champion goalkeeper. A duel of friends in high places with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on ESPN. It's another glorious day at USA Lacrosse headquarters, a day deserving of a champion. The captains get their final run of the field on ESPN as the squad led by Allie Kennedy prepares to race the team assembled by Taylor Marino. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse features 56 of the best players in the world battling to be one single champion. Rosters of 14 change every week with a captain's draft. Points are collected through individual and team success over a compact and demanding 4 weeks. As of this moment, the reigning champ needs a major rally for a three-peat. The buzzsaw second-time captain is holding her ground. The rocket-launching, record-setting attacker is a fingertip away, 85 points from the game's best leader in search of her first ever gold medal. The overall top 10 gives you the feeling that Sam Apuzzo and Charlotte North are battling for the top spot, with Allie Kennedy and Taylor Marino in competition with Katie Glynn and Ali Mastriani to bump up into that top 4 in medals. It is great to see you again. Alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. We'll tag up with our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller, very, very soon. Court, these two teams are 0-2 this week, so what's their state of mind now?
You know, I talked with the both of them, and they're all about having fun, ending on a high note. You know, they work so hard in the offseason. Of course, it's fitting for the two of them to be competing against one another. The
NCAA's all-time point-scoring leader steps into the picture. Kylie, with all of this last week, final game, medal chase pressure, how do you expect these two captains to react?
Yeah, both Allie and Taylor are fierce competitors. Both of their teams are full of competitors, and the scouting report is done. It's week 4, it's the final day, so today is all about just leaving it out on the field to finish out their 2024 pro season.
Let's delve deeper into this first game. Allie Kennedy enjoying her finest season as a pro. Courtney, lots of people are rooting for her to medal today.
You know, Allie Kennedy, she's just an Energizer bunny on the field. She stays on what seems throughout the entire game, which is really tough to do as a midfielder. You notice her on every play because she impacts everywhere. Whether it's causing turnovers or scoring goals, you are going to see Allie Kennedy.
And she's been one of the most aggressive players out there this season, taking over with not only big goals, but also big takeaway checks on the defensive end to start offense and create opportunities for her teammates.
Taylor Marino, on the other hand, she's worn the Athletes Unlimited crown twice, and most expect her to save her best for last today.
You know, she's a true leader, incredibly calm on the field, never gets rattled, which is tough to do when balls are flying at you 80 miles an hour. But Taylor's the kind of person who's always thinking of others and how she can help them, which helps her team as well. In fact, she often selects rookies because she wants to help boost their confidence. She knows how hard it can be being in this tough league.
And speaking of confidence, she takes away the confidence of the opposing team's shooters. She's just so patient in the cage, really takes her time pouncing on when the ball's going to be there, and that really makes a shooter think.
As tough a stopper as you will find behind that mask, Taylor Marino. Her brilliance has been rewarded. She won as a rookie. She repeated last summer. She's the only AU athlete with multiple titles. And she's still in the chase today, even though she places 4th at the moment. Once we conclude our doubleheader today, the top 4 will medal. And Marino has shown the ability, Courtney, in the past to rocket her way up the leaderboard with tons of saves, cause turnovers, and win points.
You know, she can absolutely get there with a 200-plus point day, but her team is going to have to step up and win quarters, win that overall game. And between she and Allie Kennedy, the both of them really want this bad for their teams. But interestingly, obviously they want it bad for each other as well.
The athletes are always generous to wear microphones for us to help bring you into their world. We can go amid the action with Taylor Marino today. Taylor, a goalie's mind should never wander, but what thoughts are you having right about now?
I I mean, just about going out, having fun, finishing out a great season with a great group of people, and then, yeah, just embracing the moment.
Taylor, you had said all of the hard work that goes into the offseason kind of culminates in today. That feeling, what do you have?
Yeah, I think just looking at it from the perspective of hard work really does pay off. I mean, obviously, you have to practice your craft, and I think for me to continuously get better and perform better for my team and be as consistent as I possibly can is always something that I look to strive for, and I think this is kind of the culmination of it.
Taylor, we appreciate it. We'll be checking in with you from time to time. Best of luck.
Thank you, guys.
This is game 23, Sunday, August 11th, season 4 of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. The officials are Lynn Bowers, Liz Brush, Erica Leslie, and Kim Kramer on the field. Team Marino in blue, Team Kennedy in the purple. We're often running the impressive rookie Cassidy Weeks. Gets the draw control. Every draw control earns you 4 points on the overall leaderboard. We'll be keeping tabs on it as it shuffles up and down on this final day of the season.
Now, you have to feel confident with winning the first draw. That's been one of the Achilles heels for Team Marino, struggling to kind of tackle that draw circle area. Who were they working with?
Pass there was a tough catch. Follow-up. Score! Who else but Isabella Peterson, who has been red hot as a rookie.
Isabella Peterson kind of picking up the trash here in the 8-meter. You heard the call one more, and the ball just actually hit the ground, kind of magically rolled into her area, which is ideal when you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, we like to call that a garbage goal, but exactly that. She was ready for it. That pass was coming from Sydney Black, coming out of that double team, so we're going to look to see that a little bit from Team Kennedy's defense here today.
Fantastic numbers for Isabella. 25 goals this summer. She had 3 yesterday. She has markers in 8 of her last 9. She gets her squad on the board in the game's first minute. Isabella Peterson, who can walk to work, right? She's hails from right here in Sparks, Maryland. We're about 20 minutes north of Baltimore on a gorgeous day. Temperatures in the high 70s. Libby Rosenzweig comes away with a draw control. Rosenzweig, who has set a record this season for most draw controls, and yesterday she set an individual game record with 14.
Had the chance to just chat with her briefly about that. She said she didn't know until others talked with her about it. She likes to think of the draw as a chess match, and that's what really drives her to kind of step up and win that ball. She ideally wants to get it to herself. She uses a couple different kinds of draw sticks.
We play Athletes Unlimited 6-on-6 at the offensive end. You see the 8-meter key. Score from outside of that, it's 2 points for your team, 16 points for you on the leaderboard. The 2 goals are set 80 yards apart. A feed here from Acera. She fires. Marino with a sharp stop early. Marino's outlet is on the button there for Weeks. Weeks deflects it away from McPherson as Sammy Jo Tracy looks to come up with a scoop. It is Weeks who will run away from the pressure. There is a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. We play 4 10-minute quarters, and we've been in quite a run lately. 4 of the last 5 games have gone beyond 40 minutes into sudden victory overtime. O'Donnell, veteran, feeds. That's deflected away. Beautifully timed on the takeaway check by Allie Kennedy, who shows off her speed through midfield.
And that's exactly what Kylie and I were talking about earlier on. Allie defensively, she just manages to see her surroundings. She knew that pass was being made. She was kind of waiting for it to happen, then all of a sudden pounced.
And I think that's a part of her game that's developed and evolved as she's become a pro. It's one of those things. She was incredible on the offensive end throughout her years at Stony Brook, and she's just really put in the time to get better on that side of the ball.
22 seconds to shoot for Macera, playing the 2-player game. Off the split dot, she gets inside, but she snapped it high. In lacrosse, on a missed shot closest to the ball, where and when it leaves the field gets possession. It stays with Team Kennedy. Shot clock's at 9. Allie Kennedy maneuvers at the 8-meter key. Find another impressive rookie. It's Hall who fires and scores! Maggie Hall!
squeaking a shot by down to the very last wire. Maggie Hall, she was kind of toying with her defense a little bit. Allie Kennedy, captain, getting the ball into her stick. She had the ISO situation, and Knowles wasn't really on her hands. Knowles defensively is normally a bit more physical than that, but if nobody's touching you, you have a little bit more space to shoot.
That's a really nice, hard move. She really acted like she was going to go down the alley, so that got Knowles to step over that way to that right side and then open up her strong 6 side. But that did trickle right past Moreno. She basically got a save on that.
She did get an awful lot of it, but not enough. Kylie and Court, we talked about this being a summer for the rookies. 21 newcomers coming to the league. And yesterday for Team Kennedy, all 11 goals in their loss in overtime. All 11 came from rookies. Maggie Hall continues that trend. We're tied up at 1, just past the 3-minute mark of the opening quarter today. Massera cruising through midfield. Play it on for Hall, unsettled here. Hall sweeping left, draws a double. Great catch, Kennedy. She ripped it high. Bringing it back in off the end line. Izzy Skane, the outstanding Tuaraton Award winner, fresh from Northwestern, drawing the double, beautifully timed on the trail check there. Wakefield with a caused turnover. She's the career leader in that regard.
You know, that's how much these veteran players respect the rookies. Izzy Skane, you just talked about her being a Tuaraton Award winner. And you look at, she was up for the Honda Award, up for an ESPY, but they're sending quick doubles to these rookies because they can be impactful, just as you had mentioned, all over the field.
Here's another one, Sydney Black on the go. She has electrifying moves. Erica Evans wheels in. She's had the hot lacrosse stick lately. 6 goals in her last 2 games. Peterson fires. That's knocked aside by the veteran keeper, Britt Reed. Reed, who's been in the top 5 on the leaderboard each of the last 3 seasons. Peterson and Hall, the goal scorers in this 1-1 draw. Inside, that's a tough catch for Sammy Jo Tracy. Hannah Dorney comes away, and it's clearing time for Team Kennedy. You have 20 seconds to get the ball across the midline in AU Pro Lacrosse. No worries for Kennedy. 6-on-6, she'll trot ahead. Allie Kennedy and Kaylin Hart, 48 here. Both of those players working collegiately in their amateur days at Stony Brook. There are 20 points available for everybody on the roster when you win an individual quarter in Athletes Unlimited. One way to vault up the leaderboard. Rosenzweig's pass on the wrong side for Hart. Chased down by Hall. Did not get there in time. This turns over. Back to Team Marino in blue. 4:40 remaining in the opening period. Peterson, play it outside for Black, off the hitch. The trailer coming late is Megan Kinna. Kinna, who plays regularly with Team Canada in international competitions. Megan, who hails from beautiful British Columbia. Here's another Canadian, 33 in the blue for Team Marino. That's Erica Evans. She's from the east side of the country. Sammy Jo turns the corner. Reed was waiting to stuff her at the post. Every goalie stop is worth 4 points this summer. Courtney, that's a change from last season.
You know, a change from last season and the season before. Goalies were just doing an outstanding job of making the stops. Oftentimes, I think the shooters, when the shot clock was winding down, they were just taking shots just to get rid of the ball, and that was kind of giving keepers extra saves. We don't see a lot of that this year. If the shot clock is winding down, if they don't feel like they have a good shot, they're holding the ball, maybe tossing it into a corner, so that way there's no solid save by a keeper. So a lot of differences that are happening this year.
Marino made that stop off the roll dodge from Hall. Every play is critical. Every point matters in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Kinna waiting for Katie O'Donnell, who has had a brilliant shooting summer. She's among the leaders in shooting percentage in this, her 4th season of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. O'Donnell with it. She's the head coach these days at Drexel in the Philadelphia area. Peterson off the sweep, back for O'Donnell. Playing the two-player game. Peterson to the cage. Stopped again. Reed laser locked on that ball in the game's first 7 minutes. 3 stops right off the jump. Floats this one into traffic. Massera chasing it down. Kennedy's team yesterday was a perfect 19 for 19 on the clearing game, and they successfully bring it along this time.
And that was almost within that 20-second time limit that they have to get that ball over the halfway mark.
Skane on the go, rips it right on, and it's stopped by Marino. A clearing effort on the button. Kinna will run, 4-on-3 into the fast break. Kinna for Black. Black off the face, dodge, nothing there. Peterson not able to catch that one. Will settle in 6-on-6. 2 minutes to go, Courtney. Fast-moving opening quarter.
That was a great job of Team Kennedy slowing the fast break down. They get in fairly fast. Team Marino actually had numbers, but defensively they were forcing passes to happen.
O'Donnell snaps this one wide. The officials awarding the caused turnover change of possession to Britt Reed as she will clear for Team Kennedy in purple. Trouble now for a member of the all-defensive team, Katie Detweiler, wearing 32 in purple today. Massera's the outlet, and she'll bring it back along. Should this quarter remain tied, those 20 points that are available for the quarter win would carry over. The second quarter would then be worth 40 to all 14 players on the roster. Hall exchanging markers with Peterson in a low-scoring 1-1 contest so far. Massera, who had 5 yesterday, a career best. Redodging on the outside. Hall keeps it hot. Ooh, that was a rough run there. No whistle, no foul call. Shot clock's at 7. Feed it for Kennedy. Closing to the 8-meter key. Fires for 2. Stopped again by Marino. 4 saves right off the bat for the reigning 2-time AU Pro Lacrosse champion. Final 35 seconds of the opening quarter, the shot clock's turned off. Emily Knowles, another member of the all-defensive team, brings it ahead, and we hear a whistle. There are no coaches in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Facilitator Renee Dowd asking for the timeout. We'll take it just the same. Get you back for the conclusion of the opening quarter in just a few moments from USA Lacrosse headquarters. Another Sunsplash day at USA Lacrosse HQ. Low scoring as we get later and later into the opening quarter. 1-1 with 28 seconds to go. Athletes Unlimited fans, catch Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball tomorrow. Team McQuillan and Team Kilfoyle, 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Then it's Team Lorenz matching up with Team Palacios at 6:30 Eastern on ESPNU. Those are the makeup games from Wednesday for the ones that were unfortunately washed out in Greenville at the Little League Softball World Series. Peterson and Hall have exchanged markers in this contest as the teams emerge from beneath their tents, getting ready to resume the first quarter. Here's Kylie O'Miller with Allie Kennedy.
Forgetting to take the mouthpiece out is Allie Kennedy. Just talking about how long and physical of a season it's been last day. How do you guys get through, push through, and make sure it's a successful one today?
I just think like mentally knowing it's your last game for a year, right? If we get the chance to play again next summer. So just enjoying the moment, enjoying the game, and pushing through that fatigue is key. We've been playing 3 games a week, so we're pretty used to it by now.
All right, go finish strong.
Thanks.
Getting pretty used to that purple jersey. This is the 8th time she has worn purple in her career, and you see how things have transpired for Allie in her first 3 seasons as a pro.
You know, Allie has had a great career in AU Pro Lacrosse. You know, she did mention that this season has flown by, and she said personally this is the best year for her, obviously in terms of leaderboard.
Evans on the way, kicked out of there by Reed.
But also, it's been her first time as a captain in weeks 3 and 4, and she's enjoyed it, but definitely talks about it being difficult. You're as a midfielder running both sides of the ball, and I said she really doesn't come off, so she does have to rely on some of her peers to help her with decision-making, and especially those facilitators.
O'Donnell let that last shot fly at 66 miles an hour from down under, just missed it. 3.8 seconds to go in the opening 10 minutes. Quarter win points on the line here. Sammy Jo Tracy feeds over top of McPherson, and the buzzer and horn sounds. So those 20 points for winning the first quarter will carry over. We have a 1-1 draw after 1. To the sideline they go. To commercial we go. Right from the opening draw on ESPN2 today. All the excitement of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is sponsored by EY. Sam Apuzzo has had the golden touch in overtime lately. A pair of overtime winners. Kenzie Kent was a winner in a shootout, in fact, for her squad, Team North. The overtimes continuing aplenty until Apuzzo decided, why not an encore yesterday for a 9-8 decision. So Courtney, as we can tell, these athletes definitely been working overtime all throughout this week. And there has been a recent uptick in extra time in most recent times. Look at the first 95 compared to the last 5.
You know, I think that just speaks volumes to the teams that are being drafted. They are very even. They know what they're asking and wanting in terms of being a captain, who's going to connect well with others, and all of these close games are showing that.
For those of you unfamiliar, Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, it's 4 weeks, and the roster sizes of 14 change every Monday through a captain's draft. So these teams are unique. Very rarely do they stay together all that much. In fact, for Team Kennedy, there are only 4 players on this Kennedy squad that were with her last week. Team Marino, only 3 players carrying over with her on the team dressed in blue.
You know, I had the chance to talk about it with a few players, and Emily Knowles, who is a part of the all-defensive team as a rookie, she said it's really hard switching from week to week, especially when you have to work through everyone on that defensive end, try and figure out everyone's strengths and weaknesses. But I said, okay, give me something that you like about AU Pro Lacrosse. And she said, well, 6 aside, a shorter field, having the fans so close and engaging with them, all of that has been incredibly fun.
Very much, bringing the fans closer to the game by innovating on and off the field. That's one of the mission statements for Athletes Unlimited. Cassidy Weeks with Team Marino in blue, finding Emily Knowles. Knowles, who's a private equity analyst intern, playing pro ball this summer. Knowles, a 4-year starter during her collegiate days with the Tar Heels at North Carolina. Evans on the go against Macera at the 8-meter key. Stick check made. Evans comes up with a ground ball. Another stick check made. The officials stopping play. We should mention Team Kennedy is working without an injured defender. Kendall Halpern has been inactive all of week 4, so they have been riding Wood, Detweiler, and McPherson on the back end. Whistle here. We've had an emphasis upon walling this summer.
Now, walling, one of those new rules put in. Players get together in the off-season, discuss what they like to see changes-wise, rules as well. Walling is one of them. Point changes, all stems through the PEC.
O'Donnell fires high. Katie O'Donnell with goals in 10 of 11 games prior to today. Quick moves from Sammy Jo Tracy. She sent it wide. Peterson feeds Sammy Jo again, and it comes up off the carpet for Kayla Wood, a playmaker on defense. Wood, who scored a goal for herself against Waters, Kaylee Waters, back in week 2. Team Kennedy in purple. Just setting foot now into the second quarter. 4 10-minute frames. Macera, a Tewaaraton Award finalist, gets to the alley, rips and scores! A beautiful release from Ellie Macera.
This isn't the first time that we've seen Ellie Macera, number 3-7 in the purple, with a no or really low angle shot. She just uses her speed, getting separation from her defensive player. She about has this ball almost at goal line extended, it seems. As she's getting rid of it, it snuck right in between Taylor Marino and the pipe.
And that's exactly how you need to try to beat Taylor Marino in cage. You need to change levels. So by Ellie Macera coming across, instead of shooting that overhand, she brings it to that kind of sidearm release, which gets her dipping.
First goal on the day for Macera, who has 4 hat tricks in this her rookie season. Ellie Macera, who models her game after her captain, Allie Kennedy, as Rosenzweig wins another draw possession and sends Macera off to the races. Macera glides in, feeds, rip shot sent high by Hall. Skane will bring it back in. Izzy Skane, who's been a master of 4-goal games, dodging beautifully inside. She scores. Izzy Skane.
What's great about Team Kennedy right now is they're scoring in a lot of different ways. First, it was a high left ISO dodge, then a righty sweep, and now they're bringing the ball in from out of bounds. And they kind of left Caroline Wakefield, the defender, out on an island. And that's tough to do when you're up against Izzy Skane. She's so powerful and shifty in her 1v1 moves to goal.
She usually looks for that first initial face dodge to go underneath, but I like that she actually added that extra stutter step, like you said, Court, a little extra layer of shiftiness to kind of open up that lane for her.
Kylie, yesterday's trend is continuing for Allie Kennedy's team. All 11 goals yesterday from AU Pro Lacrosse rookies. So far today, just the same. Hall, Macera, and Skane back to back to back. Skane has goals in all 10 games that she's played in this season. She missed a couple due to a prior commitment, Izzy's not going to be in the medal contention this summer, but she will be in the future in this league. She is an incredible scorer. Rosenzweig dominating at the draw control, gets another possession for Team Kennedy in purple.
Joe, we talk about the impact of the rookies. I said Taylor Marino, she selected that very first week as a captain. Just about a rookie at every single position, one veteran at an attacking midfield and defensive spot. Today, Peterson, rookie, Maggie Hall, rookie, Ellie Macera, Izzy Skane, all 4 of the goals, regardless of the team, have been scored by a rookie.
Kennedy off the roll dodge against O'Donnell. Bad angle, Rosenzweig will drift behind the cage. 17 seconds to shoot. Skane off the face dodge, fires. That's rejected by Taylor Marino. Folks, Sunday Night Baseball. It returns with the Mariners hosting the resurgent Mets at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Megan Kinna calling for it, 95 in the blue for Team Marino, with her squad trailing by 2 points. This second quarter is worth 40. The first frame was tied up at 1, so that's a carryover. Weeks angles in against Macera, rolling back. Wood was hedging there defensively. Evans outside the 8-meter key will try Weeks again. Off the 2-player game screen roll. Kinna with 17 seconds to shoot. Dorney with a good footwork defensively. That shovel shot went wide. 10 seconds to shoot for Sammy Jo Tracy. Powering in, Black sets her feet on the step down, and she's stopped by Reed. Britt Reed with 5 saves in the opening half. Sydney Black, who just received the D1 Lax Coaches Scholar Athlete of the Year award last week for her outstanding performance on the field and in the classroom. Kaylin Hart will spin it for Haley Warden. Warden, a 4-year veteran of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. There have been plenty of birthdays throughout the league this summer. Haley loves to bake birthday cakes. Bet she's been busy. 5.5 to go in the first half. Skane will roll. Izzy skips it on through. Warden finds Rosenzweig. That was interrupted. Timed perfectly there by Marino. 10 seconds to shoot. Closing, Hall fires and scores! A BB off hip.
The second goal for Maggie Hall today. Almost a broken play. Taylor Marino went for the interception. I like that. I like her being active out of the cage. But Kaylin Hart was the one who was able to come up with the ball. And then just defensively, they were slow to organize. You can't be slow to organize, especially after Hart moved the ball to Maggie Hall up top. When you change point of attack, it's tough to recover defensively.
And that was a really impressive look there for Kaylin Hart. She was running upfield, and as Maggie Hall was kind of slipping into that seam, kind of coming downhill, you see she ends almost at the bench on the sideline, Kaylin Hart. So she was running away and throwing back across her body to see that look.
Hart picks up the 6 points with the helper there for the assist. Maggie Hall, who wore 19, leading the nation in points at Florida, reverse it to 91 as a pro. It's 4 unanswered goals for Team Kennedy and a 4-1 lead at the midway mark of the second quarter. Specialist inside the circle. Sammy Jo Tracy bats that one down, but Allie Kennedy's quickness gets draw control.
Joe, I talk about the struggles at the draw that Team Marino has kind of had throughout the weekend. And Isabella Peterson just gives you a different look. Sometimes when you do a mismatch of players, you have Livy Rosenzweig, who's been stellar at the draw.
Skane folds it over and scores. A patented move for Izzy Skane this summer.
It just makes it hard to kind of recover and get out of that groove when a team just seems to make it take it. And that's what's happening for Team Kennedy. Win the draw, score a goal, rule the world. Stick with us on AU Pro Lacrosse.
A 5-goal spree for Team Kennedy, a 5-1 lead as we get late in the opening half with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on ESPN. Izzy Skane grew up a competitive gymnast. Courtney, in the first half, it's been another pretty good floor exercise.
Izzy Skane's so fun to watch, and I feel like this is almost on repeat. When she gets some space, she's almost a freight train headed to goal. Each time have been going on the underside of her defensive player. She just has that move down pat.
Izzy Skane, the thing that she will learn during her time in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, Courtney, is that turnovers are so costly. Some of the highest scoring rookies we've seen aren't as high up on the leaderboard as we imagine because of those types of miscues.
You know, this season, turnovers are less in terms of points that are taken away, so that's a big adjustment. I think it allows players just to have a little bit more creativity, but that is something that they have to get used to.
Here's Kylie Ohlmiller with Izzy Skane.
Izzy, what extra layer does playing for Allie Kennedy in the top spot, playing for yourselves, but also like last day, what does that extra layer give today?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think all of us want to play for our captains. I mean, they're such incredible players and leaders and people, and Allie's the best, and we all just want to see her succeed and our team succeed. And we've had a long week of overtime losses, so I think we just wanted to come out today on the last day, have a lot of fun, and just try to play the best level of lacrosse we could.
Looks awesome out there. Keep having fun.
Thank you.
An overtime loss to Team Apuzo on Thursday, 13-12. A shootout loss to Team North, 12-11 yesterday. Those overtime setbacks of which Skane speaks. Izzy has a couple of goals. Maggie Hall has 2 just the same, and it's 4-0 in the second quarter alone for Team Kennedy. Remember, this second quarter earns you 40 points after the first quarter was carried over, tied 1 apiece. Kennedy flashing into open field. The speed merchant, spark plug. Just a second time for her as a captain. Didn't happen in either of her first 3 seasons as a pro. She seems to be warming to the task and playing today against her best friend and life partner. Those two are friendly enemies for the moment. Hall playing a little hide and seek here with Kristen Carr. Cookie wears number 83. 4-year veteran, another head coach. Kristen is the head coach nearby at Towson. Pass to the interior, blocked down, and Carr comes up with it. Carr says as you get older, the emotion hits you a bit more. I'm sure she's contemplating retiring from the active duties on the field as a player. And if indeed this is the last game for her, it has been an incredible career.
You know, unfortunate to get away from the pressure. Isabella Peterson made a pass back. She didn't intend for it to go across that midfield line. However, the ball did, and that's a back and forth call. So that's why we're seeing the possession go back to Team Kennedy. So it's an immediate change of possession on a back and forth.
Hart has it. She wears number 48, Kaylin Hart. Her dad, a retired New York City fire lieutenant whose firehouse was number 248. So she puts 48 on her back and shoots the ball incredibly well from that jersey number. Hands off to Rosenzweig. Livy, more than just a draw control specialist, she can produce big point totals. 14 seconds on the shot clock for Kennedy. Off the sweep from the top, throwback for Skane. Feed it inside, behind the back, shot goes wide. Reload for Hall, steps in and scores! Maggie Hall's the first to the hat trick today.
Maggie Hall getting things done on the offensive end of the field. I like how they're moving the ball quickly. Skane finding Kaylin Hart, but immediately they move the ball to the next elbow. So before the defense had even rotated and gotten set, Maggie Hall knew as soon as the ball touched her stick, she needed to dodge immediately.
I love how hard to the goal she goes. There's like no stopping her. Every time she catches the ball and she looks like she's gonna get to the cage, she makes it happen.
She has 4 hat tricks this summer. She had a 4-goal game in her first pro game in week 1. getting herself acclimated in a hurry. Maggie Hall out of Bel Air, Maryland. Mentioned all the damage that she did at Florida. She led the nation in points this past spring with 119. Lindsay McCone's out there, 46 in blue for Team Marino. McCone is the two-time chair of the PEC, the Player Executive Committee. 6-1 for Team Kennedy. There are 4 medalists when we are done with play today. The top 4 on the leaderboard. There's a single individual champion. The gold medalist each of the last 2 years has been Taylor Marino. You see Marino actively in 4th at the moment. Apuzzo's a 3-time medalist who's never won gold. Macera lets it fly and scores! The rout continues.
Ellie Macera with a similar goal that she had to start out that second quarter. She scored the second goal for her team. We see almost a little pick action with Izzy Skane, but instead she decides to deny that pick and immediately start her dodge. It gives her a step on her defensive player. Again, near side pipe, just squeaks it in.
And I think her release is just a little bit difficult for Taylor Marino to read right now. The shots that Taylor is seeing are those either low to low or overhand to top corner, those kind of regular releases. Ellie Macera has that sidewinding one, and it happens really quickly.
Kylie, Taylor's team scored 37 seconds into the game, nothing since. It's 7 unanswered for Team Kennedy. Running away with the second quarter, a 6-0 Roger Federer-like set, and they're going to bank 40 points as a result. The first quarter carried over, deadlocked at 1.
You know, I think Allie Kennedy's message to her team when she said it, we just have to focus on us because a lot hasn't gone our way this weekend, and just celebrate any little thing from a ground ball to a draw control. But all of those are culminating into even bigger wins of getting all of these goal opportunities. She said just having a great group of girls to go out and finish this season with, she couldn't be happier.
Skane can't miss with that move. She keeps the ball in her cross, crosses it over with a wrist dexterity, and is just on the mark time after time to that far post.
Truly, it's like competing back and forth. Izzy Skane with pulling to her right-hand side and then bringing that stick back up and over. So tough to track for a keeper. And then you have the reverse side, Macera doing something similar, but on the right-hand side. Now they're sending a double team. We saw defensively the double come, but a little bit late. You got to try and deter her sooner before she starts to attack low.
This is literally, like you said, Joe, just a mirror image of what we've seen her last 2 goals be for Izzy Skane. The only difference is she actually put the ball a little bit lower on her shot. It does go to the far pipe, just like the other ones, but that little adjustment might be how that last one actually beat Taylor Marino again.
She's putting on a clinic. Skane has 8 hat tricks this summer. It's 8-1 for Team Kennedy. Coming up at the half, the athletes so often wearing microphones for us will share a best of a sound into the game with you between quarters 2 and 3. We'll also have a look at the all-defensive team in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse Season 4 and give you our thoughts as to who we think could very well be the defender of the year. You see the leaderboard upper left on your screen as Isabella Peterson goes to goal. The top 4 will medal at the end of play today. O'Donnell turns. Redodge, fires, ripped it under the crossbar, around and out. That kind of first half for Team Marino. Everything done right except the finish. O'Donnell will try it again. Working against Macera, lets it fly, she scores! Katie O'Donnell.
Seven straight goals for Team Kennedy, and Team Marino getting their second on the board, in large part due to just winning the draw. It feels like they haven't had the ball offensively for very long. First shot right off the pipe, Katie O'Donnell, her second dodge. I like how she took a step back, changed the level of her shot. This time, not a pipe, but a goal.
Katie O'Donnell, who prefers to wear number 5, Her brother wore number 9, so she proudly displays that jersey number. 18 goals this summer. She was drafted 2nd overall back on Monday. That's the highest she's ever been selected in an individual draft, and she has definitely paid dividends. It's been, I think, her best season as a goal scorer in all 4 that she's played with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Final 25 seconds of the opening half. Team Marino in blue with possession. Off and running the youngster Knowles, who played internationally with Team England. So too the goalkeeper she's taking aim on today, Britt Reed as well. Black going to the cage with the footwork, she scores! Just like that, back-to-back goals for Team Marino.
And all it takes is winning possession. I said it a second before. You win the draw, you can rule the world because the ball is in your stick. You have control of the tempo. 2 quick goals within the final minute. Sydney back with a few stutters. When she gets moving and gets her defender on their heels, that's when she reattacks.
There's an official review down here on the field. This one called for by the officials for an in the crease violation. So
Kylie Ohlmiller is our field reporter. Kylie played 2 seasons of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, missing this summer due to injury, joining our TV team and bringing us all the sights and sounds from up close and personal there on the sideline, informing us that this goal is under review. Sydney Black as to whether or not there was a goal circle violation.
And what we just witnessed on the replay, there was no goal circle violation. For whatever reason, Sydney scores. It's like she's too fast. Everybody's got to take another look at it.
This is the point of view the officials have as Black was dancing around that circle. They're going to call it a good goal.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Goal.
Lead official Lynn Bowers says so. 2 tallies in 25 seconds, O'Donnell and Black, and it's an 8-3 margin for Team Kennedy in purple. Just 8 seconds remain in this opening half. Centers inside the draw circle. McCone trying to pop it loose, she does. Weeks floats it ahead, nice catch, Peterson! Big stop there by Reed, denying Peterson the buzzer beater and keeping Team Kennedy out in front, 8-3. Team Kennedy gets the 40 points, Courtney. The carryover from the first, they take 40 down for everybody on their roster for winning the second.
A big 40 points for Team Kennedy. As we take a look right off of this draw, this is the 3rd draw in a row that Team Marino won. Excellent snag out of the air. Peterson catching, turning, shooting all in one, but Britt Reed coming up with the save.
Britt Reed striding confidently over to the sideline as we look at the leaderboard. Sam Apuzzo remains on top. She and Charlotte North will square off against each other in the nightcap of the doubleheader. Watch out for Katie Glynn and Ali Mastriani in the 5 and 6 spots, and rookie Massera has climbed up into 7th. Here's what's coming up between quarters 2 and 3. A special feature into the game, the sounds from the field from the player microphones. Courtney, Kylie, and I will go through a Defensive Player of the Year discussion. We'll also share the highlights and stats from the opening 20 minutes. Before all that begins, Kylie Ohlmiller with Maggie Hall.
Maggie, an awesome first half for Team Kennedy. You guys had, a Thursday and Saturday. Tough go. Yeah. What goes into today?
We just wanted to go out having fun. It's our last game, so I think just coming out here having fun and working together, and we were playing for each other more than playing to, get leaderboard points or anything like that. So just playing for each other, we just wanted to come out strong, and we obviously did, 8-3, so that's awesome.
I love it. Go get in halftime. Get the second half going, all right?
Thank you.
Maggie Hall, a little pregame Metallica, a little pregame Motley Crue. She's all ready for a headbanging good time. She and her mates, 7 goals in that second quarter. The dam was broken open, and Team Kennedy has the lead. We're at the half on ESPN. 2 quarters down, 2 still left to play on ESPN. We're at the halfway mark in this matchup between Team Kennedy and Team Marino. Both teams resting up for the final 20 minutes. Throughout the last 4 weeks, the players and Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse have worked closely with our audio technicians to share sounds of the action as it happens. It can get pretty colorful. These are a few of the best moments of the season. Let's go into the game now with the U.S. Air Force.
Swing! Swing! It's like a little kid. Oh, God. I have a mic today, so everyone act appropriate. Yes! So good! Why are they remixing Adele?
The DJ is DJing. Wiki, wiki, wiki. That angle of my chin can't be good.
No, don't worry. I'm not going to do it. I don't do people dirty.
Ah, let's go! Oh, my bad. Oh! My bad. Yes. Call it, Dan! Call it!
I said my goal is to score a goal this year, and I did do that, but I just did it on the wrong net. She won't be mad at me until after this game. Ow.
But what if we win? When we win?
Then she goes, then we're breaking up. Good luck. I got a butt smack. She's not mad.
You what?
I said I got a butt smack. She's not mad.
Oh, dance party.
Let's go! Oh, God, I jumped too.
I will be this guy. If I get a new stick, I don't want a stick tap. Sorry, that's just me. And I've done it, but I didn't like to. Here you go. Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I'm good. Hey, it's not gonna stay.
Come on, girl.
Didn't that feel great?
It felt so good. I love playing team defense.
I love playing team defense with you, Cookie.
I think I can go 110. I can squat more than I can bench.
That's normal. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
I can't squat.
I can't do it.
I thought they said that.
Yes!
After further review, the ruling on the field is overturned. There's no goal.
That's all right.
Two! That was a two! Is that a two? Every time I run by the refs, I say, that's a two. And they're like I gotta stop doing that. You guys gonna cheer loud today?
Yes.
You're already in the right color. We just need you guys to go crazy, okay, when anything happens for the blue team.
This song just reminds me of Card Knocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Giants one? Are you watching it?
No, the Jets one from last year.
Yes! Let's go!
Really nice.
Yeah, I'm with you, Kath. Yep.
Let's go! Oh God, this isn't my eyes. Excuse me.
I love that.
Wait, it literally got caught in my goggles when I shot the ball.
I would love to hear.
You gonna keep picking up one by one, or? The light and let it shine.
Lizzie, big stop. Big stop, please. Goggles and a big stop. Goggles and a big stop.
We need to workshop that.
Lizzie, cute fun and a big nice stop.
Let's go.
Say it,
Let's go, Meg! So can you send me your routine? It's called lifting weights. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there.
The hold out of the A. Ale, Mastriani.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, step up. Get through this. I'm on you if you need. I'm with you if you need. I'm below you. I'm below you. You're good. I'm with you. Good. Good job.
Are those pickles?
Yeah, and mustard for cramps.
Oh God. If I ate mustard before a game, I would throw up.
Thank you.
Nice. Crushed it.
How'd I do?
You did good. That is your superpower.
I should be mic'd up more often. I haven't cursed once. I haven't yelled at the refs once. Yeah.
Like George Orwell, like they're
Yes,
always
yes,
listening.
1984. Literally.
Friends, we are just beginning the halftime agenda. On the other side of the break, Courtney and Kylie join me for a discussion that's all about defense and the best in the game. Just like that, we're halfway through the second to last game of season 4 with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on ESPN. Team Kennedy and Team Apuzzo relaxing a little bit before the final 2 quarters unwind. Each season, AU Pro Lacrosse proudly recognizes the all-defensive team for its efforts. Chosen by vote of the athletes, these are the 4 best from 2024. Detweiler, Dowdy, Scales, and Knowles. You have veterans and you have rookies. And we begin the discussion with Kylie Oldmiller. Katie Detweiler has turned in an outstanding second season as a pro.
Yeah, Katie really makes it difficult to get the ball into your stick as an offensive player, denying the passes, and she's just very aggressive when it comes to getting stick checks on the hands of her offensive matchups.
Courtney, Meg Dowdy is still one physical customer.
Meg Dowdy, she's so fundamentally sound. I like watching her team defense. She's incredible with her positioning, both on and off ball. She never loses body positioning. When going for the check, she's a real leader defensively.
Kylie, it's easy to marvel at the footwork of Sydney Scales.
Scales plays defense with the patience and IQ of just an overall athlete. Her checks are timely, she anticipates the moves of her offensive players, and she gets possession for her team by running the ball out the end line on shots too.
Emily Knowles, I'm not sure there's been a more visible defender this season.
She is impactful all over the field, and starting with the draw, just very aware of her surroundings. She knows when to step up and cause turnovers. She gets a lot of ground balls. She also likes to push transition.
In conversation now with our game analyst and our field reporter. Ladies, we could have easily put 8 players into that top 4. It's been that close. So I'm sure deciding who the defender of the year is going to be quite difficult. Courtney, who's the best?
You know, I'm going to go with the last one, Emily Knowles. The fact that she's been a rookie and stepped up, she's really facilitating and leading defensively. I think that overall communicator for any team she's on and kind of coordinating who goes where and when.
Kylie, in your time as a pro, you know what it feels like to be defended by someone so tough. Who's the best in the business right now?
Right now, I think it's Meg Dowdy. She's an all-world defender, has been for years. She's a fantastic leader, like Court said, out there on the field. And she gets drafted so high because her teammates and these captains out here really trust her to make those timely and sound decisions. So I'm going to go with Meg Dowdy.
Kylie, I still think it's one of the rookies. Folks, stick around. We will share first half highlights. So far, the matchup between Team Kennedy and Team Marino. It's coming up right after these messages. Champions Day and Fan Appreciation Day at USA Lacrosse HQ. A 7-goal explosion for Team Kennedy in that second quarter. An 8-3 lead when we get started in quarter 3. Courtney, looking at the highlights, Ellie Macera is so crafty.
You know, she is so quick. Anytime she gains a step on her defensive player, that means she is headed right to cage. And then quick ball movement. Rosenzweig to Maggie Hall, catching Taylor Marino off guard. They're just attacking the cage fast and hard. And then Izzy Skane taking over. First she scores, few stutters, and then getting underneath of her defender. Put it on repeat because she does it a second time.
Skane with a hat trick. Team Marino had the last 2 goals of the opening half to make it 8-3. First half numbers, shots are pretty close, but that's 7 goals unanswered, changing the complexion of this game as we get you to the centers inside the draw circle. Lynn Bowers, Liz Brush, Erica Leslie, Kim Kramer, our officials. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor upstairs. Kylie O'Miller is our field reporter as we shout out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts this day, this weekend, and throughout 4 weeks of heavy lifting. A job very well done.
And coming up with the very first draw control of the third quarter, starting the second half. Important for Team Marino. They won the first draw of the game, they scored. And then Team Kennedy won 8 of the next draws. They went on that 8-0 run. Team Marino got 3 draws in a row. They went on a quick 2-0 run, scored 2 goals in the final 30 seconds. Let's see if they can capitalize here.
All the focus today on the leaderboard. Apuzzo and North will play in the next game. Evans, bounce pass from a cone out of her cross. Spiked there by McPherson to Kayla Wood, and Wood will run. Kayla, who says playing defense in basketball helped her as a defender with her footwork in lacrosse. Skane right off the jump, 56 seconds into the second half. That's 4 for Izzy.
Defensively, Team Kennedy, they are just like a well-oiled machine. Kayla Wood sprinting the ball out from the backfield. Captain Allie Kennedy not keeping it in her stick for too long. As soon as she moved the ball into Izzy Skane's stick, she was already setting up, turning into her shooting motion.
Allie Kennedy sees those transition opportunities so well because it's just second nature to her. She's the one that gets up and out so quickly every time up the field. So drawing a slide, seeing the open Izzy Skane comes so natural.
31 different goals for Izzy Skane, second best on the circuit. Only Charlotte North, who has 47, has more than Skane. Kennedy weaving her way in. Fast break, fires, she scores. Back-to-back goals in a heartbeat, and the commanding lead for Kennedy continues.
Straight from the draw control, and this is where Team Kennedy, they're just lethal. You see that quick snag, Livy Rosenzweig dishing it off to Kennedy, who's off to the races. This was just 8 seconds from that draw control win, and they are just killing it. Cranking in transition, truly benefiting from the work of Livy Rosenzweig.
And Livy Rosenzweig, she's adjusting. You can see Team Marino, their game plan, knowing that Livy Rosenzweig is most likely going to win these draws to herself, they crash on her immediately. So for her to get that quick draw control and then flip it out to Allie Kennedy immediately, it's a good adjustment.
Rosenzweig said, you know what, I don't like a lot of pregame warm-up. I get a little bit too antsy. Well, she's been doing the job in expert fashion today. Folks, the month-long WNBA Olympic break ends Thursday, August the 15th. We'll have the Liberty and the Sparks on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Coverage beginning 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. Brianna Stewart, a force for New York. Congrats to Team USA's women. They rally for an 8th straight Olympic gold. This is Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse Season 4. The longest running iteration of women's professional lacrosse. Macera, an incredible scoop shot to the top corner.
Three goals in the last 42 seconds. Maggie Hall feeding it inside to Ellie Macera. She is such a smart cutter. Changing her direction. She's actually fading away. This is kind of a la Michael Jordan, taking a fadeaway shot. She is being cross-checked almost, falling backwards and still manages to get it off.
I like that she took the extra couple of steps there. If she shot that right when she caught it, might have been a dangerous shot, but she gave herself those extra few seconds to get across the middle of the field, see the cage, and beat Taylor Moreno up top.
And Taylor's going to give herself a little timeout. She's going to yield the crease to Kat Buchanan. Buchanan has been her understudy all 4 weeks of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Remember, Taylor's been a captain 11 straight weeks, so she's gone out of her way to draft Buchanan as her backup. And this is relief appearance number 3 for Kat, who was a tremendous contributor at James Madison during her collegiate days. Rosenzweig gets the draw control. She's fouled by Caroline Wakefield. Macera takes it on the run, trying to welcome Buchanan right away to the game. Macera swings back behind the goal.
You know, I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't remind everyone, both of these teams have yet to come up with a win here in week 4. Both of them put through the gauntlet. 2 back-to-back overtime games for Team Kennedy, where they lost in those overtime segments. And then Team Marino with the heartbreaker and really controversial final call, like to end that game for them before heading into overtime.
Macera behind the back. And her lacrosse version of the game of horse continues, and I don't want to play against her. She has a remarkable way to score goals in any fashion.
Allie Kennedy with the speed. Look at her. She drew 2 defenders. And because she drew 2, that just gave a little lane for Macera to cut. Allie's eyes are up. She sped dodge. She backed out of it. She saw a fellow Stony Brook alum making the hard cut. The little shot stick may have gotten Ellie Macera in the head as well.
And for those of you thinking that might be a little showing off there with the behind the back, that's actually the right play there. As she caught that pass and she was coming across the crease, she was running into another defender that was going to be on her stick side. So if she shot that normally, she, 1, wouldn't have had a great angle, and 2, might have ran into that defender. So that's the correct shot there, and you saw it in the placement.
Macera, 9 goals in the last 6.5 quarters. It's 12-3 Team Kennedy, 4 tallies in a 95-second span, blowing this one open again, and Rosenzweig wins the draw. Ellie Macera's incredible work. Look at her at 1,155 points on the leaderboard. The top 4 when we are through with business today will get medals. Ellie began the day in 10th overall as she shares the rock with Haley Warden.
And again, give credit where credit is due. Livy Rosenzweig winning the draw for their team. Lucky for Rutgers, she was announced in July, the assistant coach there. I think their draw controls are going to get a whole lot better as well due to her expertise.
You think? Hall on the go, sweeps at the top. Skeen didn't take that shot, works away, 2-player game with Macera, rolls back, finds Hall outside the 8-meter key. Score from out there, you get 2 for the team, 16 for yourself. Haley Warden, who's an assistant at Arizona State, shot clock's at 2. Shot clock violation here against Team Kennedy. Off and running, back comes Cookie Carr for Team Marino. Kristen Carr feeds Sydney Black. Make it 1 more for Moreau. Backdoor looks a beauty, and Peterson converts.
A great defensive stop for Team Marino. We still have a lot of time left in this 3rd quarter. Defensively, the entire defense coming up with that shot clock stop. O'Donnell pitting it forward to Cookie Carr. In transition, she hits Sydney Black to Lindsay McCone. McCone finding Peterson, a little bit of tic-tac-toe, excellent vision, and Peterson with the finish.
What I love about what Peterson did there, a lot of times on that left side in a fast break, you'll kind of slot down to that far pipe and be right next to the crease. But she recognized that the defense was there, and she actually stepped up a little bit more to make herself open for McCone.
Isabella Peterson, Kylie, shooting a lot like you. 47% this summer, setting the pace in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Off this draw, possession, goose back to Buchanan. Buchanan, who loves the playing style of a former left-handed netminder in Brett Queener. Remember Brett, Courtney? He was acrobatic outside the cage and in it. That acrobatic lefty now taking over for Taylor Marino here in the second half. 12-4, Team Kennedy has the advantage. Back with more in quarter three, right after these words. Scoring deluge continues for Team Kennedy in the purple. A 12-4 advantage over Team Marino with 6 minutes still to play in the third quarter. Folks, you get closer to the action with your free unlimited club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes, and much more. Sign up now at auprolacrosse.com. Folks have applied their sunscreen here at USA Lacrosse HQ, enjoying this game number 23 of 24 this summer. Throughout, we've had the athletes mic'd for sound. That includes Allie Kennedy today, and we can go into the game with number 42.
Happy birthday! Yay! Let's go. It's always humbling when they come in. I'm like, hey! Awesome.
All right, good luck. Have a great last game.
Thanks. Good luck. What do you want or need? Yeah. Huh? What do you want or need to get going? You want clear? You want space now?
Yeah.
You tell me. I'm here for you.
Good for me.
Okay. Hey! 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 Go! 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 Away! 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 Yes! Let's go!
Good call, guys. There we go.
Let's go.
Nice job.
Good job.
Good rush it in. That's good.
Good job. Good job, Lynn.
Allie Kennedy and her crew having a really good time today. Allie in search of her first medal in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse action. This is her fourth summer. The top four on the leaderboard when all is said and done, after the Team North and Apuzo game is complete and all the MVP voting is concluded, we'll have our top four medalists and our gold medal champion. Taylor Cummings in year one, Taylor Marino each of the last 2 years. Marino still in fourth at the moment. Apuzo and North just warming up for their marquee matchup. Expected to come your way around 4:30 p.m. Eastern time over on ESPNU.
Team Marino is in a player up opportunity, an offsides call. We have Izzy Skane, who's going to be sitting in the box. So this is a perfect opportunity for them to get another goal on the board.
Evans will circle it for weeks. Kinna, then McCone. Lindsay McCone getting more playing time today. Whistling drive score. That's a rocket from Kinna.
Quick ball movement is the name of the game when you are a player up. Move the ball quickly, find the open players, look for the seams. And we see the ball around the perimeter. Kinna to McCone, back to Kinna. And as soon as she caught that ball, you see her already turning, putting herself in the best possible position, almost a little bit of a wheel action, drag a defensive player away from where you're going.
And what I like about that look there, what also gets the defense moving in a player-up situation is moving the ball from the inside back to the outside on the perimeter, like you said, and kind of seeing a little bit of both. Reminds me of basketball in that way when you're trying to get the ball in to open up the outside. And I think that cut by Kinna to go inside and then curl back around the outside opened her up.
Okay, speaking of basketball, our sport involves kind of a lot of different sports. Basketball, and that we set up options working with others. Some behind the action, ice hockey, right? You can go behind the goal. What else we got?
I think, you see the speed and the endurance in soccer. I think you see a lot of the IQ that comes from, I like to think that women's lacrosse and men's lacrosse are pretty similar, but also pretty different games. So you could see a lot of the IQ coming across that as well.
Ellie Macera drives it back 6-on-6 here at the offensive end of the field. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse has played 10-on-10. There's a 60-second shot clock if you are new to the sport. Rosenzweig will roll this one for Skane, who already has her 5th different 4-goal game this summer. Izzy, skip it on through. Hart wants her left, snaps it high on Buchanan. Kat Buchanan, who's come on in relief of Taylor Marino, and this her 2nd season as a pro now. Hall off the rocker step, bad angle, followed up by Rosenzweig. She put it off the outside of the goal. Buchanan, the outlet pass, twisting around Kinna. Defense was ready there from McPherson, who breezes back into the offensive end. Opening up for Rosenzweig, who will hit Hart coming off the bench. 4 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. 20 points available for everybody on the roster for the team that wins each individual frame. Courtney has mentioned both of these teams 0-2 during the week. The team in blue, Team Marino, dropped a 10-8 decision on Thursday, lost in overtime yesterday. Allie Kennedy getting downhill. Not fooling O'Donnell just yet. Hall against Nalds. Run to the ditch. Shot clock's at 17. Rosenzweig surveys the defense. Inside roll, goes to the cage and scores. They're going to say goal circle violation, no goal. Rosenzweig has that one taken off the board, but there's going to be a review. Livy Rosenzweig neatly got underneath her defender. The question is, does she go through the circle?
So when taking a look at that review, what the referees are looking at, number one, did she get pushed into the goal circle, or was her momentum already taking there? And I think that's a perfect example of she left her feet on her own accord.
Livy Rosenzweig, hands on hips, back over towards the bench. We share another point of view on this goal, which is under review by the officials. Maggie Hall, you can see there off in the distance, making the cross-check motion, saying that she was pushed. Rosenzweig would have been pushed into the circle. Let's hear from Lynn Bowers.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It will be blue ball coming out.
No goal for Rosenzweig, so this stays at a 12-5 count. Livy Rosenzweig, who wears number 11. Her father wore that number in football and in lacrosse. Speaking of family, Caroline Wakefield, her family's never missed an Athletes Unlimited game as the veteran defender brings it across against Ellie Macera. 3 minutes to go in quarter 3. This is game 23 of the season. One more to come. We'll crown a champion after the nightcap of this doubleheader. The feature game between Team North and Team Apuzzo still to come. Isabella Peterson snaps the pass. O'Donnell brings it this way for Evans. Evans, who's been hot as a pistol in the last 2 outings. She's been held in check so far this afternoon. Evans rolling back against McPherson. Long-range two-point sizzler, wide of the goal from Kinna. Sydney Black on the reload. Black fidgets, tries to turn on Detweiler, the all-defensive team rear guard. Sydney Black to the interior, looked like she got held there. The lasso came, and Black will have a free position shot.
A quick peek back, Sydney Black getting through 2 defensive players. It's a hold on Detweiler. I can see her winding up, wanting to potentially shoot a 2-pointer. She's got a powerful shot, but she's also fast off the line.
Black fires and scores! A worm burner to the bottom corner. Gets Sydney Black on the board from free position.
Sydney Black, we see her cognizant of the line, but Detweiler was coming in hard from behind. So when she crow hopped this one, her feet stepped over. It's not going to be a 2-pointer, but a well-placed shot, low and away.
And it took a little bit of time to set up that free position. The referees were making sure there was 2 seconds on the shot clock before she took that shot. It said 1 originally. So sometimes when you take those free positions and it takes a while to set it up, kind of gets in your head a little bit on both the shooter's perspective and the goalie perspective. So a nice job there by Sydney Black.
So once again, Lynn Bauer is informing the crowd and our ESPN viewers that this is also going to be reviewed. Sydney Black, who began her career as a midfielder at Loyola. She credits Loyola head coach Jen Adams as an incredible mentor to her. Jen Adams, a fantastic talent in her own right, would be very appreciative of the many moves Black is capable of on a lacrosse field.
Oh gosh, we've seen the swim move. We've seen a lot of action from her. You know, you can find Jen Adams as well as Dana Doby, both of the coaches at Loyola, in the stands quite a bit. They're here to support a lot of their players. Detweiler, Katie Glynn, Olivia Rosenzweig, and obviously Sydney Black as well. Plus, it's right around the corner.
Black, who was so dependable during her days as a Greyhound in college, scored a goal in each of her last 55 straight college games. She's been a quick study here at the pro ranks as Bowers is explaining things to the facilitators. Remember, no coaches in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Facilitators are helpers, they're advisors, they're sideline patrol people. As Bowers continues to address the captains, Kennedy and Marino.
Listening in down here on the field, the issue was that Sydney Black, when she lined up for that free position, her foot wasn't on the center hash. It needs to be on the center hash, so it won't necessarily do anything except for completely reset everything.
The goal does not count. We need to reset the play and properly place the player on the dot for the shot. So that is why we're recreating the last play.
It's a do-over. I didn't think we had do-overs in professional sports.
Okay, so I understand the point, but we did see the other night an instance where a play was started and nobody was ready except for the person with the ball, and that's a safety factor.
Sydney Black's on the dot right now. She'll be whistle ready against Britt Reed from free position. Lets it go, too tall. Backed up on the inline by Lindsay McCone. As the shot clock expires, the ball goes back over to Team Kennedy. Team Kennedy, as we touched on in the opening half, playing without outstanding rookie defender Kendall Halpern, who's been inactive in this final week, leaning heavily upon Wood and McPherson and Detweiler, and doing so very well today, holding Team Marino to just 5 goals.
Joe, I think anytime Sydney Black is essentially going to score, it seems like it's always reviewed.
She's definitely had to endure a lot of video replay. Skane coming a long way from the cage to get it. Wakefield right there at her hip. Skane stick checked. We hear the whistle. Off the restart, Skane busy going to the cage inside the 8-meter key. Ball up in the air, and Kennedy, who's everywhere with her coverage and speed, gets it back. Shot clock's at 6. Hall with a laser that's stopped by Buchanan. Folks, Sunday Night Baseball. It features the Mariners playing host to the resurgent Mets. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Nice to have you on board this Sunday afternoon with us with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Isabella Peterson kicks it for Sydney Black. Black off the redodge, turns the corner. Little question mark move there. Peterson, towering attacker looking over Kayla Wood. Long drive, no worries for Britt Reed. She made the save there on Weeks' 2-point attempt. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. This third quarter in favor of Team Kennedy. They're trying to pocket 20 more points for the individual leaderboard for all the players on the roster when you win an individual frame. Macera, who's had another outstanding performance today. Shot clock turned off, final possession of the frame for Team Kennedy. Hall badgered by Carr. Hall lets this one go. It sizzles wide. Rosenzweig brings it off the end line as the third quarter comes to its conclusion. Team Kennedy takes the 20 points for the quarter win, and they have a 7-point advantage to protect down the stretch. Looking at the leaderboard, Apuzzo and North at the very top. Their game will be coming your way at 4:30. Kennedy and Marino and Glynn and Mastriani more than likely jousting for the medals in 3rd and 4th place. Off we go to commercial break. Back for the final 10 minutes of the season for these two squads. 10 minutes to go for Team Kennedy and Team Marino on ESPN. Back-to-back quarter wins for Team Kennedy, 60 points pocketed in the process, 12-5 with 10 minutes left in regulation time. We want to make sure that we get everybody on the same page with regard to that Sydney Black free position shot. Have a look at the original exchange, and you see Black off to the left of the dot. Cranks it up and scores. It demands a replay and a video review, and Lynn Bowers explains herself to the captains.
What our review is we're checking to see where the positioning of the shooter was. It's fine if the shooter, if this is a dot, was this way. We need to make sure that she was not this way. You know what I mean? Like, she could be behind the dot, but she can't be to the right or left of the dot. And the issue is that she was not placed properly on the dot. So we're recreating the scenario and resetting the play up because she wasn't set correctly.
Got it.
So the goal is not counting, but
she's retaking the free position. Okay. Got it.
Taylor Marino was correct. Black was given another chance and snapped it too high.
Correct. No further comments from my side.
Moving on. Fourth quarter set to unfold between Team Kennedy and Team Marino. Team North and Team Apuzzo waiting in the wings. It'll be the final game of Season 4 this summer of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. More than likely, Apuzzo and North will have the run of the field in the chase for the one title. 56 players have been involved in this 4-week sisterhood. One champion when it's all said and done. Marino has been that champion each of the last 2 summers. Sydney Black is back behind the cage. Subs coming on off the sideline for Team Marino in blue. Lindsey McCone, the PEC chairman, player executive committee. Players are the decision makers in this league. Lindsey playing the 2-player game with Peterson. To the curl of Evans. Evans fires and scores.
There's goal number 6 for Team Marino. Starting out quarter number 4. Had the first goal of this game, and I like the ball movement. I like a little weave action happening up top. We saw the hesitation from Erica Evans. That hesitation caused the defense to freeze, and then she reattacked smart.
And when she sees that opening on that top shoulder of Ellie Macera there, and there's no slide to her left hand, that's the perfect time for her to release that. She's been really hot with her shooting as of late, and to put that to that opposite bottom corner on Britt Reed, that's smart placement as well.
Evans, who had gone cold for 4 games before erupting for the 4-goal game Thursday, the biggest game of her AU Pro Lacrosse career, continues the hot scoring trend. Sammy Jo Tracy's bounce shot goes over top of the goal, guarded by Britt Reed. Brought back in. Isabella Peterson tries to stuff it. Reed met her at the post. The officials awarding the ball to Team Kennedy in purple. Early stages of the 4th, with Team Kennedy doubling up Team Marino. Kayla Wood will glide ahead. Wood, who's an assistant coach these days at Princeton. Allie Kennedy, likewise an assistant coach at Ohio State. She's been training at Westside Barbell in Columbus, Ohio, and thanks them for helping her be fit as a fiddle. Kennedy backing far away from Katie O'Donnell, sharing defensive responsibilities with Kristen Carr. Cookie's playing this summer for her dad, Dan, who's had a recent health scare. Good to see Dan around the field the last couple weeks. 2 minutes deep in the 4th. Hall on the go. Good catch by Rosenzweig to the interior. The behind the back shot from Hart didn't hit pay dirt. Team Marino captain Taylor Marino, the netminder, keeps herself on the sideline. It's Kat Buchanan remaining in the cage in relief.
Reset on the shot clock down here. The far referee had that shot hitting the outside of Kat Buchanan, so there is 54 seconds on the shot clock.
Kennedy with a quick acceleration inside for Macera, defended by Knowles. Knowles and Wakefield, Maddie Burns and Kristen Carr defending in front of Marino and Buchanan today.
Ellie Macera is going to be awarded a free position. Again, in Athletes Unlimited, it's only from this center hash, a difference from the collegiate rule.
Macera stopped by Buchanan. Rebound collected by Cassidy Weeks, a 2-time national champion with Boston College. Running for her life now on the clear. Burns, the lone Michigan Wolverine on the roster, sends away O'Donnell. O'Donnell, who played collegiately at Penn State, steps in and fires. Kneeling Britt Reed has that. Reed launching this one ahead for Allie Kennedy. Britt Reed, married to one of the facilitators in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, Christy Foote. Their beautiful boy, River Reed Foote, can often be spotted on the sidelines, having the time of his young life.
You know, they give him lessons just about every day before Britt comes out to play.
Back behind the cage, it's Hall. 28 seconds to shoot. Rosenzweig with a slip there from Skane. Kennedy shadowed by Caroline Wakefield. Play it outside, long ways from the cooker. There's a whistle here. And a card coming, a yellow card. Player up situation now for Team Kennedy.
The referees are signaling a yellow card due to a check to the head. Cassidy Weeks is going to be the one taking a seat. So it's outside of that critical scoring area, the 8-meter key. So it's going to be a player up opportunity and not an 8-meter.
Force feeding Rosenzweig off the post, off of Buchanan, and then wide of the goal. Lacrosse ball turned pinball there. Macera, who has 9 tallies in the last 2 days. Rosenzweig hiding back behind the cage with the 6 minutes to go in regulation. Macera choosing Maggie Hall outside the 8-meter key. Score from out there, it's 2 for the team and 16 for yourself. Nice job there. Hart crossing over to her weak hand to rip the far post.
Sometimes dodges, when you're a player up, just catches the defense a little bit off. We saw the breakdown of the feet of Maddie Burns in blue, number 41. She broke her feet down, figured that Hart was going to pass the ball off, and then just didn't get them moving back quick enough. So that's when you saw Kaylin decide to read dodge, and I like the right alley look. She's a natural lefty.
That's what makes Hart so versatile as a scorer. She's able to switch those hands, come down that side. I also like, you move the ball a lot, get the ball in everybody's stick in the player up situation on the outside. They did that a lot, but then you sometimes have to just keep the defense honest and go for the dodge.
Should make you proud, Kylie, because Kaylin lists you as her guide and mentor. Kaylin Hart, who has goals in 3 of her last 4. 13 goals on the board for Team Kennedy, Courtney, 12 of them from rookies. The captain, Allie Kennedy, is the only veteran who has scored today for the team dressed in purple. Folks, the month-long WNBA Olympic break ending Thursday, August the 15th. We've got the Liberty and the Sparks on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN's app. Coverage beginning for New York and LA, 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific.
Joe Kennedy, the only veteran for her team, and Katie O'Donnell, the only veteran for Team Marino. I think that speaks volumes about the talent of the rookies in this league.
Tells you the future is bright. Another example, compliments of Maggie Hall.
I talked a little bit about it early on that Taylor Marino had been selecting a lot of rookies, especially in week 1 and throughout. But their talent, their skill, their energy that they bring to the field, and just most importantly, it's the desire to go hard.
Yeah, they're fearless. Maggie Hall is fearless. She's been taking on a veteran in Cookie Carr all day long, and Cookie is a fast, physical defender. You could see her kind of fighting through some of those stick checks and those cross checks as well, and Maggie Hall just does not let up, curling to that left side.
Kylie, Courtney and I have been attacked by bugs for the last 4 weeks here in the booth. Maggie Hall says she's extremely afraid of ants. That's probably the only thing we haven't seen in the booth.
No,
Courtney, it's ants. Have we seen ants?
A huge one. I think it was one of those fire things. I don't know. I have to hit my button constantly so the poor fans don't hear me scream.
I thought we were going to get away without ants, but you've seen that too.
Yes, it was huge. I could have rode it.
You and Maggie will run away from those. 14-6 in a laugher for Team Kennedy with less than 5 minutes to go. Just a reminder, Team North and Team Apuzzo warming up. That game scheduled for a 4:30 Eastern time start. Good kick save there by Buchanan on a BB from Kennedy. That North matchup against Apuzzo likely to determine the gold medal winner on the leaderboard. Another turnover here, and it's Kayla Wood who comes running. Snapshot sizzled wide by Hall. Maggie with another 4-goal game today, the same as she did in her first game as a pro a month ago. Down to 4 minutes left. No set teams in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Fans get to follow their favorites. There's a weekly draft the captains get involved in. Izzy Skane became the first player ever to be selected in 3 different drafts, #1 overall this summer. Carr comes up with it. Kristen gets decked. And we hear the whistle. One tough cookie, eh? That was said of her in her youth, and it still applies today.
As we take a peek back, Maggie Hall on the ground. T. Marino coming up with this ball, and it's the swipe by Kaylin Hart. Actually, it's not a yellow card. She's just on the sideline right now because she's needing a sub out. I think Team Kennedy got away with one there.
Weeks working in. On the split dodge from right to left. Flips for Kinna. Trying to connect with fellow Canadian Erica Evans inside. That didn't work. And Detweiler will bring it back. Katie Detweiler, one of the 4 on the all-defensive team. One of those 4 will be named Defender of the Year. We'll share those honors in the second game of our doubleheader today. Becca Block won Defender of the Year in the first 2 AU Pro Lacrosse campaigns. It was Abby Bosco a season ago as a rookie, winner of Defender of the Year. Hart for Hall and back to Rosenzweig.
You know, you could have gone with any number.
Skane rattled one off the headgear of Buchanan.
Of defensive players, you know, I think that's the special thing about this league. You try and say, okay, who's the best attacker? You know, Charlotte North, Izzy Skane, Allie Kennedy. There's so many players.
Kinna looking for 2 there from deep. Kinna strikes for Team Marino.
Working the ball from the defensive end to the offensive quickly. Buchanan with the nice tight save on Izzy Skane. She's patient, wants to make sure she's getting the ball out easily. They've struggled the last few times on clears. Wakefield to Kinna. I like Megan Kinna in transition, and she is well outside of that 2-point line, so this is no doubt a 2.
4th different 2-goal game for Kinna. Makes it 14-8 down the stretch. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is sponsored by EY. There's the Book of Unlimited. 500 plus pages, 25 pounds. The names of every athlete who has competed during an AU season. And the champion will have her name inscribed into the Book of Unlimited later this afternoon. On the leaderboard, the top 4, when all is said and done through 24 games this summer, will be medalists. There's one individual champion. Taylor Marino knows that firsthand, Courtney. She's done it twice, each of the last 2 summers.
You know, she's managed to still be in contention throughout most of season 4. That's so very impressive. Hard to do. It just shows what kind of competitor she is. And she was looking to give her team a spark, and I think she did that when she subbed herself off the field. You know, I wouldn't say that she was playing terrible. I just think that Team Kennedy was having a ton of big looks. She wanted to change for the defense. There's not that many field subs, so why not pull yourself off? And that's a true team player.
Marino currently 4th on the leaderboard. The colors next to the names coordinating with the jersey colors that the players are wearing this week. Those players in gold. Their uniforms are white with gold numbers, and it is a team gold Sam Apuzzo. Team Apuzzo out in front with Sam holding off Charlotte North. Those two will square off in the last game of the summer, scheduled to be 4:30 Eastern time over on ESPNU. Final 2:15 of the season for these two squads. Team Kennedy appears to be on its way to making the mark of 1 and 2 in this week. Team Marino falling on Thursday by 2, falling yesterday in overtime, and coming up shy in this one as Carr runs and looks to go to goal for herself. Didn't get that one on Cage. Cookie Carr digging in with help from Sydney Black. Black looked like she was on the sideline there. This ball goes back over to Team Kennedy, and that will encourage McPherson to run. 1:35 left. Folks, Sunday Night Baseball features the Mariners hosting the resurgent Mets. Comes your way 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coming up a little later on today, Allie Kennedy cruising through the midfield, gets away from Megan Kinna, whose recent 2-point tally has made it a 6-point game, but not enough time for the team dressed in blue. Kennedy fires high. Team Kennedy, captained by Allie. Team Marino, captained by Taylor. Those two best of friends, life partners, who were on the same team in the first couple of weeks, but been separated since Allie earned her captaincy. In the final 35 seconds, the shot clock's turned off. Macera ran right into a double and was flattened. Slow to get back to her feet. Those 20 quarter win points for winning the individual quarter for the moment, favoring Team Marino in blue, thanks to Kinna's 2.
So Kinna's stick, it looks like what caught Ellie Macera up high in the face.
Player up for Team Kennedy. Hall maneuvers in. Kick it to Rosenzweig. More good ball movement and a scorching drive from Skane for icing on the cake.
A big exclamation point ending to a great game for Team Kennedy. Izzy Skane wearing 2-7 in purple. We see her catch this ball. Her foot, I believe, is on the line. I don't know if this is a true 2-pointer. The referees are going to take a look, as always. Anything that's close to that line, they want to make sure they're getting it right. But I love how she was turning into it already, making sure she got all the power from her hips, torso, and arms.
Really utilizing the power in that step down shot. She is so lethal from that side. We've seen it in the dodging ability and her ability to get her arms off of her body. And that's how she gets so much power on that step down shot. Her arms are nowhere near her torso. They're really big, really far back to get that power.
Kylie, her plant foot was on the line. So this is a 1-point goal for Skane. Her first career 5-goal game. Izzy Skane capping this one off for Team Kennedy. One final possession. Macera will run it out. And the team dressed in purple. Too much today by the final count of 15-8.
A great reset for Team Kennedy. I truly think her team accomplished just focusing on themselves, celebrating the little things. That way they go out, have it on their own accord. Season just absolutely flew by, but the relationships that Allie Kennedy feels like she made, the connections with those on her team, she said, what better group to go out with?
Last chance for these two teams to move up on the leaderboard. MVP voting will occur. That will add additional points for 3 players on their leaderboard tally. You see where it stands at the moment. The top 4 will receive medals at the end of the Team North, Team Apuzo game, which comes your way at 4:30 Eastern. The quarter win points doled out. Team Kennedy prevails by the final of 15-8. Allie Kennedy is ready to chit-chat with Kylie Ohlmiller.
Okay, awesome day for your team. What came together? It was a tough Thursday, a tough Saturday. What came together right today?
You know, I just tried to preach in the locker room, like focus on us. Hopefully the ball will bounce our way. Try to believe that the universe will help us. You know, we fought Thursday and Saturday and it didn't go our way, but we didn't blame anything. We just kept fighting and we kept that belief, and I think that's what helped us today.
When you think about this past season, what were some of the highs for you?
Some of the highs was definitely being able to play with a few of my Stony Brook alums. Miss you, but it was great to play with them, and then also being teammates with Taylor and just going through this experience with her is always something I'll cherish.
My heart. Congrats, my friend.
Thanks.
Allie and Kylie, we do appreciate it. As they share and embrace, we peak Courtney at the leaderboard. So the target has been set now. Kennedy and Marino will add a few more points, but it sure looks like it's a duel between North and Apuzo for all the bragging rights.
You know, those two have created such a lead that it's going to be hard to catch them.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse plays its final game of the season, 4:30 Eastern, Team North facing Team Apuzo on ESPNU. For Courtney, for Kylie, for all the men and women in our technical crew, Joe Beninati, thanks so much for your time. The rookies were ridiculous for Team Kennedy.